I don't know if anyone has been watching the Hunger Games. I don't know if anyone's got any interest in going to see it. I've no interest. I don't like the Hunger Games. And I've been very clear about that on my channel. I don't like it. And it's nothing to do with my namesake, who is also appearing in it, Rachel Zegler. But apparently we're going to be blamed. Box office woes, Hunger Games, Trolls, and the Marvels on pace for the lowest grosses in franchise history. Of course, it's all going to be our fault because, whatever. Anyway, so the Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, grossed $5.75 million in its domestic previews. And it came out on 17th of November. And it put the long-awaited prequel on pace for the movie's franchise worst weekend opening. Though it's not the only box office disappointment this weekend, as Trolls Band Together, which is the Trolls animation film, and the Marvels also underperform. Now, with the Marvels, that was, of course, to be expected. Trolls, I don't know about what we really expected for Trolls. I mean, I haven't really commented on Trolls, but we expected it for the Marvels, and of course, we had a feeling that it was going to happen, and it was nothing to do with the strikes for the Hunger Games, but people just do not like it. And it's very, very clear that they don't. So it had $100 million budget. So the budget wasn't big. Okay, so in theory, it would be easy to bring it back, make that money back. But of course, the cinemas obviously take, I think it's that half of it. And then you've got all the promotion that gets paid for on top of that. Well, the promotion wasn't very big because they were on strike, so they had to get that stupid waiver. So despite its $100 million budget, The Hunger Games, or Songbirds and Snakes, is projected to become the lowest grossing opening in the Hunger Games franchise. You've got to remember that the original franchise series was must have been well over a decade ago now. Okay, and people have grown up since then. It's projected to gross between $50 million and $60 million during its opening weekend, and that puts it behind 2012's The Hunger Games, which grossed $152 million in the first weekend, as well as the sequel Catching Fire, $158 million, The Mockingjay Part 1, $122, Mockingjay Part 2 was $130, and so that's set out to be a failure. And of course, Trolls Band Together is $1.3 million in the preview stage, and it's putting it at $46.5 million in its opening weekend, and has gone to total $153.7 million at the box office domestically. And the Trolls World Tour has grossed $450 million since its digital release in April 2020. Through the COVID-19 pandemic restricted its theatrical debut. And the Marvels, which we know is pretty much on the flop, particularly because The Hunger Games got released the week after. It broke an unwelcome Marvel Cinematic Universe record with the lowest grossing domestic weekend opening, grossing just $47 million domestically, a drop in the bucket of the $357 million Avengers Endgame grossed in 2019, which was the best weekend opening of all time. And so people are not liking this. Of course, I will make sure that you have the links for this, but we just go over to Rotten Tomatoes or Rotten Tomatoes, depending on where you're from. Of course, I'm from England, so I say tomatoes, and the tomato meter is at 60%. And this is, of course, Top Critics. Audience score is 90%. That has gone down since this morning. Hi, Aman. And it was higher than that this morning, but if you actually click on it, of course, this is the verified audience score, 90%, and then you've got all audience, which is 84%, and the all critics is scoring currently at 60%, but it looks like it may very well go down to Rotten, and it's Rotten with Top Critics at 52%, so it's not doing well. People do not like it. Have you seen it? That is the question, and if you have seen it, Did you like it? Do you think it will continue to do well? I think from what I can gather, with this Draco Malfoy-esque looking kind of character, people's dislike of a certain actress in this film, and just overall not really willing to go and see something that is, a prequel, because prequels suck kind of, really, don't they, if you think about it. But I mean, not saying that this sucks, I'm just saying I don't take to prequels as well. It's more than likely to go down. I think it's going to flop, and I think it's going to be a huge flop at that. But we will see. Of course, it's just the opening weekend. So, don't forget to chat about it and shout about it. Leave some comments about it.